Hey, welcome to Resource Prepping. I'm your host, Greg. I had a conversation at work today with a much younger generation, 30s, and they had no idea what I was talking about when I would go out on fly-out hunts up in Alaska many, many years ago. And we used to go camping, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you mean like down there at the campground with all the trailers and everything? You bought a trailer?" No, that's not camping. That's glamping. You have a trailer there, you have all the luxuries of home, but you're paying for the privilege to sit around a pond and watch your neighbors drink beer and get stupidly drunk and everything else. I'm talking about real camping, where you go in the outdoors, you have a tent, a sleeping bag, and whatever you brought is what you ate and slept in and everything else. A fly out hunt, if you didn't have it, you weren't getting it. And if you screwed up and got yourself hurt, chances are you weren't going to survive because the pilot wasn't coming back for 2 weeks. So you had to be prepared, and you had to know how to take care of yourself and be extra careful. So I said, yeah, we used to cook on a 2-burner stove with white gas, and that's how we ate, whatever we caught or killed or something else out there. And that's real camping. They had no idea what a Coleman stove actually was, because this generation has no idea how to survive. So for those of you that may not know it or even remember or brings back memories, this is a Coleman 2-burner stove. That fuel tank is in the front, which is the copper one, and you can see the burners, in the background. The windscreen is up and everything else. This is what it looks like folded up. And you can cook with a little pot on there for whatever soup or whatever vegetables you want to cook. But that was what our Coleman camping looked like, and how we survived on that. You can see the blue flame. But I could not find a Coleman gas stove made anywhere anymore. They don't make them. They went to propane to be climate friendly, which is a joke, because those green propane bottles that you attach to the Coleman stove last about 2 hours. They're not recyclable, and they end up in the landfill. So that's why I was telling everybody, when I bought this Coleman fuel, and you can see a picture of the camp stove right there, this fuel goes to that picture that I showed you. I could not believe I could not find them on Amazon. That was not propane. Went to the Coleman website, propane. And I did find a Coleman alike camp stove made overseas. I think it was in India or someplace like that. They wanted $200 some for it, and I said, that's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. So I got into a bidding war on eBay for a refurbished Coleman stove, which is what I just showed you. I ended up finally winning it and paying $102 for a camp stove, so I can use the fuel like this at $19 a gallon that I've been storing up. And I'm like, wow, I wonder if people are aware of that, because I sure wasn't. So when I told you about getting a stove, you just saw the pictures of it. That's what I'm referring to. So if you're looking for one, looking to follow my advice, go to eBay, read the description carefully. Make sure in the description it says working, tested. Make sure the plunger has pressure in it to force the gas up into the burners, and look at the pictures carefully. If it says refurbished and working, and that's something that you have the money to buy and fill in your preps, I would recommend you have at least one of them. You're going to pay some shipping. This one's $102 purchase price plus $13 shipping, so they aren't cheap. I've seen other ones going for as much as $200 in a bidding war that was like brand new, never even opened with the box and everything else, from an antique store, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. But I wanted to bring that to your attention. The reason why I purchased that is, once again, Donald Trump is doing his job as promised. Promises made, promises kept. And the deep state now has a name. USAID, USAID. And that is the Democrats' slush fund. That is the heart of the deep state. And Trump finally got it right, along with Doge, Elon Musk, and is dismantling that slush fund and exposing the corruption and the corrupt Democrats for who they are. While exposing that, he showed that our taxpayer dollars, this is our money, was being paid to Politico to the tune of $3 or $4 million a year, who absolutely did everything best to destroy Trump in his first term, as well as all his appointees, obstructed everything about him, and it was being paid by the Democrats through U.S. aid. Then also Reuters, a corrupt news agency, New York Times, who hates Trump, BBC, and another one I can't remember right off the top, but it was big. These people are corrupt, and we were paying for it. The Democrats are out there on stage yelling, we need to impeach him, we need to do this. Let's put it very simply. If you go anywhere and you are overcharged for your purchase, don't care what it is, you are overcharged by a lot. And you're saying, wait a second, here is what I contributed to that purchase. You charged me twice as much. I want a refund. I want my money back. This is exactly what Doge is doing. Don't be fooled by the Democrats threatening war on the streets and everything else. They used our taxpayer money to fund all kinds of stupid stuff. Sesame Street in Iraq, gay parades and wherever, transgender whatever, transgender surgeries wherever. It was bizarre, it was corrupt, and I want my money back. And you should too. But the Democrats are having a fit. Now, we're also going through, and out of 10,000 employees for U.S. aid, he said, I'm keeping 250. The rest are gone. Now, Doge is aiming at the CIA, and John Ratcliffe has said, take the buyout, quit, retire. I want to downsize the CIA. I want to purge it. Pam Bondi, wonderful Pam Bondi, head of the DOJ, is eliminating the corrupt, one-sided standard of justice that persecuted, prosecuted Christians, January 6ers, pro-life, everything else. She is purging those corrupt prosecutors that made innocent people's lives miserable. I am extremely happy with what Trump is doing, but remember, winning in a game means somebody's losing in the game, and that's the Democrats. That's the cartels. That's the corrupt drug dealers. That's everybody that opposes righteousness and freedom and just, and they may just strike back, especially the cartels. They may say, Trump's winning too much, let's put him in the dark. That's where the prepping items come in that I recommend. Something to think about, all right? But I just wanted to give you an update on why I recommended getting a Coleman stove. My apologies, I had no idea it was so difficult to find, but I just showed you, and it don't come cheap. But they last forever, and I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Greg out.